Humans of the cardboard, welcome back to Just Nuts, guys. Here we go. Pushing forward, it looks like the leaks were most likely true here because we've got the new Malice main deck monster and the new Malice quick play spell. Which, listen, I know some people are going to be nonplussed by this just because Malice is already really scary, and this, if anything, just makes them more scary. But that being said, these are the like slightly awkward pieces that we're missing from the first wave. So we'll see. These probably will just confirm the leaks that we had for a couple months now. And also, by the way, new microphone for me. It's been a long time coming. I've kind of just been waiting for the right time to do it. Let me know your thoughts down below on how it sounds. I've gotten small things. I've heard small comments from you guys over the past couple of honestly months over just random videos where just something doesn't sound fully right. So let me know your thoughts on the new mic, how it sounds. I'd love to get some feedback on that. But regardless, the real meat and potatoes of today's video is the new Malice cards. So let's get into it. Starting off, of course, you have our new curl Maliss March Hare. Design is cool. I like her design. She's fun. She's got all the keys here, which is cool. Yeah, she looks good. And then this is this half white binder, half red ransom here. Combining. You have like the white on one side, the red on the other. That's cool. All right. Anyway, Maliss March Hare. This is a level 3 Dark Cyberse effect monster, of course. 600 attack, 300 defense. You can only use the first and third effect once per turn. During the main phase, if this card is in your hand, quick effect, you can banish one other Malice card from your hand or graveyard, and if you do, special summon this card. This is confirming the leaks. This is a great effect. All of the Malice monsters prior to this are so normal summon reliant, so actually having one that actually allows you to extend is really, really good. And even without having a normal summon at all, right? Because you can banish another Malice monster in your hand to special summon this, and you never even have to normal in that scenario. So even in a scenario where you have potentially even 3 names, right? You could banish one with this card to summon it, summon that banished name, and then even normal summon the third. So this card does help with awkward hands that are a little bit too normal summon heavy, and that's really good. Second effect, your opponent cannot target Malice Link monsters that point to this card with card effects. Dang, that's actually kind of a decent one too. I mean, these are the effects that are like not the main effects for these cards, but like sometimes when you are either playing on your turn 1 or summoning them on the opponent's turn, they do just make for like niche annoying board states, and this one definitely adds to it for sure. So that's nice. And then third effect, if this card becomes banished, you can pay 300 life points, then target one of your banished Malice monsters, add it to your hand. Whoa. Whoa, that's super interesting, actually. Also, very important to note, this effect does not exclude itself. So this card, when it's banished, can just add itself right back to hand, which I think is really important because it's a quick effect. So using this card as a bonus body, like your turn 1, and then when you get it banished off of White Binder, off of whatever, off of Abystial or Haggard or SP, anything, that you can just add this card back and just set this card up. Because you a lot of times if you are playing, you're leaving names engraved. So what this does is this makes the deck even slimier, basically. Just like, a lot of times you're ending on White Binder with a way to try and banish it. Well, if your opponent just happens to have like a really good, I don't know, non-engine card to handle that, and keep White Binder from getting like the triple banish in your own graveyard to just go crazy plus, you could still end with this card in hand and be able to just, you know what I mean, rip it from there and hit something else that's engraved, whether it's Red Ransom sitting engraved, whether it's one of the main deck names, it could be a White Rabbit, so then White Rabbit's then grabbing you, something from there. That's really cool. Okay. Listen, I like this card. I think this card is really cool because it just really helps the deck in exactly what it needs. I'm just scared because of how good the deck already is. So Yeah, we'll see. But it's a cool card. I'm just scared. All right, next up we have Malice in the Mirror. This is a quick play spell. Before we even get into the effects, this card is important because the only spell card in the archetype has been the field spell, and they have a card like Red Ransom that on summon searches a Malice spell. Well, they've only ever had one, and that one is a really important consistency card. The deck has lacked consistency, so having to max out the field spell just to have as much consistency as possible meant any hand where you opened the field spell made Red Ransom a follow-up only card for the most part. Not only like obviously you summon it and it's a link climb card because you banish it, it comes back for free, all that. But it does diminish its value, its returns early on those turns. So um, this is important because when you do open the field spell, you now can search a different spell target, and hopefully it's good. Hopefully it's at least playable in that regard. You can only use the first and second effects once per turn. It is a quick play, which is the best kind of spell. It's just the most versatile. First effect, target one face-up monster your opponent controls. Banish one Malice monster from your hand or face-up field, and if you do, negate the targeted monster's effects until the end of this turn. If this card becomes banished, you can target a Malice card in your graveyard, banish it, and if you do, add one Malice card of the same type, monster, spell, or trap from your deck to your hand. Okay. Interesting. Even this second effect, by the way, is kind of interesting because this one also um does not exclude like monsters of the same name. This is normally the kind of effect where you're like, okay, you banish a name from your grave, but you can't add the same name. You have to add something different. That means you could like potentially banish a field spell. Um, you could banish a Malice field spell in your grave to then add another copy of the field spell, or more importantly, the monsters is really where it is strongest here. You could banish any Malice monster in grave to add another one, which could be the extender above. Which if you don't have your normal summon available, which could be White Rabbit or Dormouse if you need it. If you need the like normal summon oomph, uh, and even the traps. If for some reason you haven't gone through all three traps, you could banish one of the three traps to get another. This card's not crazy, and I think this is good because this card is like more so specifically utility. Like we said, the scenario where you open the field spell, this just makes that so much more smooth. I don't think this is a card you're playing really in multiples. It's possible. I mean, it is just a card that like as you're playing, being able to tag out into a board and like play around stuff. You go normal summon Dormouse, normal summon White Rabbit. A lot of people are going to try and stop you early if you're going second. And so being able to like dodge those monsters out of the way, make sure their effects resolve if your opponent tried to negate them with targeting, negation, or removal, and still just kind of keep everything going and even negate a card at the same time. There's definite value in that. Do I think it's good enough where consistently you're going to see it enough and want it at 3? Probably not. My guess is this is a clean one of. For mostly those scenarios where you have the field spell, or you just would rather set this up and add an extra end board piece to your board, but still, it is good for that. So I think these cards are good. I think these cards really do improve some of the wonkiness. I think one more piece with the March Hare that I think is really keen is and really important is Allure of Darkness. I've seen a lot of people reluctant to play Allure of Darkness at a pure 3. And also even Cheshire Cat, where a lot of times that's been a one of in people's decks. I talked about this when the archetype first came out. The more names we have available, the more you want to like just play all of them, because now Allure is, if this card is a 3 of, the new monster, if that card is a 3 of for most people, are we just looking at Allure at 3 and we are just playing full consistency? I don't know. I really don't know. So just some really important things to keep in mind. These cards are solid. They really are. So I'd love to hear your guys' thoughts down below. I've not played Malice. I've looked into it with a buddy who's playing it, and I have it from that perspective. But if you are someone who has been playing Malice, or just knows a little bit more nitty gritty, maybe some specific, very specific scenarios these cards could also come up in, or synergies, let me know down below. I'd love to hear that. But I'm out here for today. Again, let me know the thoughts on the mic. Let me know your thoughts on these cards. Should get 2 new Ryziel cards tomorrow, but if these leaks are the same as the leaks prior, The riser cards shouldn't be crazy, but like maybe little nice one ofs potentially. But I'll keep you posted on that. And then, of course, the final reveals for the set throughout the rest of the week. So stay tuned for everything. I'm bringing you news as soon as it comes. Thank you so much for watching. Subscribe if you haven't, and I'll see you in the next one. Peace.